Well, the next point, the stuff that Singaporeans do, communist foreigners will be Singaporeans, they use the CAN. You know, the word CAN comprises of the alphabet CAN, right? So they don't understand CAN is a question or is it an answer. For example, Singaporeans say, can eat it? So the Singaporeans, I mean the foreigners will think this, right? How about can la? The la is a Singlish word, it means like a full stop. And the foreigner may think that what is can la? Can la, is it a question mark? Or answer, they don't really understand because they never learn English, you see. Well, the next point that Singaporeans do, or the stuff they do that foreigners are confused will be, Singaporeans really love to complain every single day, day, week, month, and year. They don't complain, right? Every day they will feel they are not Singaporean, they are un-Singaporean, they are in-Singaporean. So, if anything that they face, be it the street food, they are not happy, or the restaurant, the hotel, they will go to Google and they look for the review, you know, Google review, and then these Singaporeans will just post a negative one-star review about their product or services that they may not really patronize. They just pass through the shop. Maybe they are not happy with the attitude, the face or the stuff. Even such ridiculous stuff happens, you know. But if it's a real review, right? The Singaporeans have tried their service, then different story that. But Singaporeans even like to complain by email to the government authority. They say they don't get a reply, they try again the next day, the next 3 days, or they may even call, you know, or go down to their office. Some people are just so free. Now, foreigners don't understand how come Singapore has a super culture 24 hours. You know, Singaporeans are hungry, they can eat any time of the day. So it's like at night, right? Let's say 1 a.m. The Singaporean is hungry, right? Then what he or she do is they order food online by Grab, or they go to one of these coffee shops in near their neighborhood, and they try to find food. But in the foreigners' country, no such thing. There's no coffee shops. There's only like cafe, restaurant, and supermarket. So if the foreigners are hungry, they will buy some bread and snacks and eat them at night. The final point that foreigners understand about Singaporean stuff is that Singaporean singles, right? They will live with parents until they get married, and then they move out with house with their spouse when they get a new house, or BTO or resale flat, whatever. So this happens throughout the age of 20 to 40s. As long as a single Singaporean is still single, right? Then if the parents are still alive, right, then they will just live together under the same roof in the HDB normally, but sometimes in the home, depending on the family situation. So the foreigners understand because in their culture, 18 years old is the start of adulthood, and you are expected to rent an apartment, do many part-time jobs, and even study at the same time. I mean, not near your parents, but in Singapore, this culture and versus a foreigner culture different. So the foreigners when come to Singapore and hear such story, you're 35 years, you are single, and where do you stay? Oh, you stay with your parents. You don't understand, no. They find it very shocking and very strange. The older the Singaporean is and staying with their parents, the stranger the more strange, the more bizarre foreigner will think of this. Let's say the Singaporean female is 50 years, next day parents maybe the parents married young, give birth young, so they're still alive, the parents. So maybe the parents are 75 years old, 76, and then the single is 50 years old. Oh, then they'll be shocked. How come? Firstly, we are 50 years old already. How come you haven't find a husband? And secondly, how you still living with your parents? Be very, very shocked. I mean, for single male, it's still understandable. It takes time to find a family, but for single females, it's harder to understand because females are expected to form a family much earlier than guys. I'll just conclude this video. There's no right or wrong in whatever views I share. It's just my experience and what I see and what I hear. And some of them is from my friends' stories. I mean, they told me. So, of course, there are no names mentioned. I'm just giving examples. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Any comment, drop me a comment in the section box below. I like to hear from you guys. And please take care, everyone. Your health is more important. All the money made in the world. We need a balance of both. And also love, to spend time with your loved ones, family, loved ones, spouses, kids, friends, close friends. These are important for a real happy life in the world. So, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.